Hi guys, so I don't know if you'll have watched our previous videos, but I've been playing Ragnaloardmon recently, the black variant, and I thought I'd just give you a deck profile to show you how I've been playing it and my thoughts on the deck. So starting off with the Digitama, starting off with 4 Kikinmon and 1 Kapurimon. So to me the Kikinmon's the best one. It's the one that gains you memory when attacking as a level 7. You're really trying to turbo into your level 7s with this deck, so it's the most useful. Next up you've got the Kapurimon, which gives any Digimon with reboot 1000 during your turn. It's much more useful in like the Black Wargreymon builds, but it's just sort of the 5th one in here, and you probably will have a bit of a grindier game, so I do think you need the 5th egg. So that's the eggs. Then moving on to the level 3s, I'm playing 4 Ludimon. So this is the reveal top 5 card of your deck. Add a Ragnaloardmon and a Legend Arms type from it to your hand. That's really good for cycling through your deck, grabbing what you need. Sometimes if you get the Ragnaloardmon as well, it can be a +1. So it's only on hard play, which is sort of a downside of it, but it still comes up enough, and it's only a 3 cost, that's not too bad. Then we've got Gotsumon, so this is just a level 3 that's also a blocker. That's really handy if you're going against something like Rookie Rush. Just having any blockers on board can stop them in their tracks for a little bit while you establish bigger blockers and more resources. Next up, we're just playing 4 of the Commandramon and 4 of the Higuramon. So these are both just vanillas. 2 to play from hand, 0 to Digivolve, and 3k. They are there just as lower cost guys to play from hand, and just to see more level 3s. So we're playing 16 because we really want to see our level 3s and start evolving. You can go pretty wide with it as well. You can steal games if you just have a bunch of them in hand and you can just Rookie Rush them. So that's it, 16 level 3s. Then moving on to level 4s, starting off with the Teal Ludimon. So I'm playing 2 Teal Ludimon. I thought 4 was pretty clunky, and the inheritable is when attacking, if this is level 7, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's a really good effect, but the level 5 also has the same effect. So I just thought there was better ways to play level 4s in this deck. It is only a 4 cost to drop from hand as well, which isn't too bad, so I have found myself dropping that from hand a few times. And we also have the Guardramon, 2 of them. So I was playing more of these, but again I found myself that I just wanted to go into the cheaper level 4s. So it's nice to have the blocker. It's 7k, which just puts it out of range of most level 4s. And I think 2 and 2 is probably enough. I don't think there's situations where I need more. I don't want to run too many blockers in this build because I am wanting to evolve up really quickly, so having too many blockers just means that I'm reluctant to evolve over the top of them. So instead of that, we're playing 4 of the Numamon and 4 of the Tankmon. Both of these just cost 1 to digivolve into. The Tankmon is 6k, the Numamon is 3k, but that's reflected in the hard play cost. The Tankmon is 6 to hard play from hand, so you're almost never doing that, because if you're going to have to hard play level 4, you're going to be going for the Numamon or Teal Ludimon, because this is only 3. So we play 12 level 4s, and I don't think you need any more Teal Ludimons, even though it's like sort of the main strategy of the deck. The level 5 does the same thing, and I think there's better level 4s. I think just getting the cheap evolutions more important. So I'm playing 4 of the Ragnaloardmon, the level 5. If we had 2 cost level 5s for black yet, I would maybe consider putting this up to 4, because then it would be the same if we could have 4 costs to do both of them, 2 and 2 or 1 and 3. But as it stands, we've not really got that many good level 5 options. So 4 Ragnaloardmon has the same inheritable de-evolve 1 when attacking if it's level 7. To fill out the other level 5 slots, we've got 2 Andromon. So it was originally 4 Guardramon, no Andromon, but I felt the Andromon was good as a level 5. It's also a blocker that can attack, unlike the Guardramon, because our other level 5 is the Metal Mamimon. So this has reboot, and when digivolving, return a level 7 Digimon with virus its attribute from your trash to your hand. So that is really just to sort of get your level 7s back from your trash. There's usually your level 7s are how you're ending the game, so it's if you hit one off of security, or if you've managed to go into one, it's maybe a grindier game, this can just get one back for when you need it. So it was originally 4 and 4, but I didn't need this as much. It barely ever comes up, if I'm honest, but I can only play 4 of these. This is still like a fairly cheap, it's 6 to drop from hand for level 5, which is pretty good. I wish we had better level 5 options. The other thing I'd be considering is maybe something like a Metal Greymon to give my 6s and above security attack +1 if it has reboot. But for now, this is what I've gone with: the blocker, get resources back, and the Ragnaloardmon. I think 4 of that is spot on, because it is sticking with the strategy, and it is like your best level 5 in the deck. On to the level 6s. So we're playing 4 of the Ragnaloardmon and 3 of the Durandamon. I have been dithering about with the Blitzgreymon as well, but I've decided I don't need it anymore. There's an extra D-Digivolve, but I really just want to turbo into the Ragnaloardmon, and I'd rather have the inheritables that you get from these. So Ragnaloardmon gives something blocker, this gives it piercing. If you get into Ragnaloardmon, you get both, and having piercing, blocker, and reboot is just really threatening, and they have to sort of go for that to get rid of it. So the Ragnaloardmon, I think I want to see slightly more, because blocker is more relevant. I think having, when you go into the Ragnaloardmon, you've got a 14k blocker, that just stops a lot of decks. They don't want to just crash and lose their big guys. So I think either 3 and 3 or 4 and 3. I wouldn't want to play 4 Durandamon because the piercing is less relevant, especially in a black deck. If I was playing the red variant, I'd probably swap it around because it's much more aggro. Then onto the level 7s, I'm playing 2 Omni Ultra-S and 3 Ragnaloardmon. So the Ragnaloardmons, I really need to see these. So I play this at 3 or 4 pretty much always, because you need to see it. And if you're digging with the Ludamon, it can be a +1 if you see the Ragnaloardmon. The effects: security attack +1, reboot, and when digivolving, you can place one of the level 6s underneath it to gain 3 memory, so it makes it free. It's the heart and soul of the deck. It's the namesake of the deck, so you really want to get into this pretty much every time. The Omnimon Ultra-S is just too good not to play. De-Digivolve on all of your opponent's Digimon and destroy anything that's level 5 or lower. And not level 5 or lower, 5,000 or lower. That'd be insane. And when attacking, you can return a level 6 to make it unblockable. So if you do need to get one of your level 6s back, that's really, really handy. But it can also just mean that if you're sitting facing a load of blockers, you can just maybe do that one punch for game, or hit that one problem Digimon. So that's it for the level 7s. You are able to recur them with the Metal Mamimon if you do see them. And then finishing it off, 2 Taikamiya. So I've gone for the red Taikamiya because it is more aggro. Because once you get into your Ragnaloardmon or your Durandamon, you can start getting the security attack +1. The Ragnaloardmon already has security attack +1, so then you get security attack +2. And if you have piercing, it's it can just really it can go really aggro. It can end the game really quickly. I did originally think about playing the Joe, but I don't play enough blockers. There's the black Taikamiya, but the extra 1,000 during my opponent's turn isn't relevant most of the time. So that's why I went for the red tie. I think it's just more aggro, and I think this deck can go more aggro if it's given a little bit more memory. Other honourable mentions for the deck would be, I'm not playing any options, so the red option cards would be something like Gaia Force I'd consider. I am playing now 8 red cards, so I'm sort of getting on the side where I could be playing enough to justify the Gaia Force. I'd maybe pop the Blitzgreymons back in then, just so I have more options. Well, more things to have on board for the options. But there's also things like the Spider Shooter, Infinity Cannon, looking back in the good times, any of the Digivolving black ones. I currently don't think it's necessary with the Omnimons and the Ragnaloardmons and the Telodemons. If I was really desperate for that extra Digivolving, I probably would go with the Blitzgreymons. I think this is a really good card in the deck, and I do think it is a really strong consideration. But currently, the way I want to play it, I want to turbo into the Ragnaloardmon and just really apply that pressure, because a lot of decks, once you start getting a Ragnaloardmon with all the inheritables, you get a Brewerloodmon, you get a Durandamon, and even just one of the Ragnaloardmon or Telodemon, once you've got 3 inheritables plus the actual effects of Ragnaloardmon, most decks, they either have to deal with it straight away with something like a Gaia Force, which could give you enough memory to go back into another one because it's still relatively cheap, or they have to start sacrificing blockers, but that means very little if you've got piercing. I think this is a really strong boss monster if you can get it set up. I think the making it free is really good. You have to play the memory fixer though, because being able to go straight from a Ragnaloardmon into one of your level 6s and then straight into your Ragnaloardmon for 3, for 3 extra guys on top. I think the memory fixer is really necessary in the deck. So I'll be playing more with this in the coming weeks, and I'm hoping to do some more matches for you. But that's all I've got for you today. So please like and subscribe. Please comment below if you have any questions about the deck, any comments on my current deck list, or if there's any matchup you would like to see, because we do have access to most decks. We can probably show almost any matchup you like. And yeah, stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
Shh, not a zombie channel.